Hello and welcome to another episode of Single and Waiting. It's your host, Ada Emmanuel. So today, I'm going to be reading out some advice from late Pastor Bimbo Odukoya, my great marriage mentor, a wonderful woman. So I'm going to be reading out some things she had to say about love and romance and marriage. Are you ready? Number 1 is this. Stop looking at love like a fleshly thing. It is a spiritual thing. Don't approach choosing a life partner from the fleshly perspective because God is love. Isn't that wonderful? Number 2, never experience romance until you experience God. We want to date without God and be romantic, pushing God's principles and using man-made, which causes a lot of heartbreak. Think of that, Sila. You can never taste true romance until you start to know God, walk with Him, and obey Him. This one hits my head. It hits my head. Because God ordained marriage, God ordained romance and sex, and He ordained everything you like about love. So you must follow His manual. Sometimes we think that we are the ones that know how to love more than God. Some people feel they can do romance more than God. Meanwhile, God has ordained it. He is the chief of all of us. He is so crazy about you. So crazy, madly and recklessly in love. Go to Him to teach you how to love. Go to Him. He ordained it. He will teach you. The next on that list, He said, when you approach love from a sensual perspective or fleshly, you will not find love. You will find lust, L-U-S-T, which is sin, and the wages of sin is death. Approach love in the way God says you should. Most time we won't do past God. We know past God. We know past the one that made us. It's like a remote saying, I know past the person that manufactured me. You approach love from a sensual way. You will not see that love. You will see lust. And it will shock you. The next thing she said, God gave us something manufactured from the spirit realm, but we want to enjoy it by approaching it with the sensual and physical angle. Can you imagine? I wish most of us had known these things. We will not be suffering in the marriage or in the relationship we are in now. So that means love is spiritual. It's not physical. Even though we show it physically. Well, it came from the spirit realm, but we approach it from the sensual or physical angle. Now she said this. Many are hurting in marriage because they approach something spiritual in a physical way. She was just trying to further buttress the point she made. Many are hurting because they approach something spiritual in a physical way. So many people just go into marriage. They don't even know how spiritual marriage is. And they don't know how bitter it makes the devil if you are doing marriage the God kind of way. And so they want to do it their own way, and the devil will happily make sure everything goes smoothly. He will make it go smoothly until you enter. You will now jump Pepe. Now another thing she said, if the devil can get you to have sex before marriage, he's gonna get you messed up in marriage. If he can get you to have sex before marriage, he's going to get you messed up in marriage. The devil does not love you. We really have to understand this. He's not your mate. He has an advantage of age. Just like an elder has an advantage of age over a child. And you know when a child is going somewhere, you can determine if that thing will lead to disaster, even without going that same path. That's how the devil is with humans. He has an advantage of age. So he knows how to deal with people. Allow God so that you can have peace. Allow God. Understand that the devil doesn't love you. It is God that is crazy about you. Therefore, you will be in your best if you do what God tells you. Wonderful nuggets from Pastor Bimbo Odukoya. Hannah's advice is this: the devil's only agenda is to steal, kill, and destroy. He just has several subtle ways of bringing his machineries. You will not know. You won't know. She said, follow God's standards and impress him. Serve God in your youth. Be intimate with God. So when you marry, he will teach you how to care for your husband and kids. Isn't God wonderful? Isn't he wonderful? The greatest teacher of all time. The devil cannot mess around with you until he messes around with your philosophy. The moment the devil messes around with your philosophy, that's your worth, what God says about you, what you believe about yourself, or what God has said about you. The moment he does that, you're done for. Yes. When you start believing people's opinion of yourself, of what you see, of or feel, instead of the word of God, you permit the devil to mess around with you. Pastor Bimbo still dishing on nuggets. That's why you have to believe what the word of God says. You don't just have it as a head knowledge. Most of us, we have it as head knowledge, but we do not believe it. And it can be seen in the way we do things and in what we say, because from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Finally, she said, the more you get intimate with God, the more you know him. And the more you know him, the more you get to know yourself. You know, if you want to know who you are, you find out what state you come from, your origin. That is how it is in the spiritual. God is our origin. So the more of him you know, the more of yourself you know. I hope you can sit down with these nuggets she has dished out, ponder on them, work on the parts you have to work on, pray about the ones you have to pray on, and keep living a fruitful, wonderful life, either as a single person or one planning to get married or one that is already married. I hope this episode truly, truly blessed you, because it blessed me. It did. Thank you and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.